I have a new vomiting milestone. Throwing up in public. I'm surprised it hasn't happened until now, but nope, today was the first time that I ever threw up in front of a lot of people. So let me start at the beginning and kind of work my way forward. So this morning I had an appointment for a blood test at the hospital, followed by an appointment with my oncologist. Not really much to say on that front. I only had one question to ask him from my wife, and he didn't really have anything new to share with me. So it was pretty much a quick chat. The only downside is I lost a pound in the last 3 weeks, which sucks because I feel like the eating's been like way better than it was. And I thought I would actually gain some weight, but you can never know. Like last time, I was sure I lost weight, and turns out I gained like half a pound or a pound, I forget. And this time it's like, oh, well, I lost a pound. So it's like everything's stable, it's fine. I'm just surprised because I wasn't expecting that. So that was kind of the bad news. And then, meeting with the doctor very quick, nothing really to share on that front. And then my friend who was working nearby and finished early, he's like, hey, want me to drop by once I'm done and give you a ride home? And I'm like, absolutely. Because walking back from the hospital is worse. It's like, okay, walking back from the hospital, the subway is fine because it's underground, it's a tunnel, I'm protected from the cold, everything's okay. But when I get off the subway and have to walk back to my apartment, that's about a half a kilometer walk, which doesn't seem like that much, but given my current state is very difficult, especially in the middle of winter when it's freezing. And like the first half of the walk back is uphill. So it just completely destroys me. And usually by the time I get back, I'm just like completely wiped out. So when my friend offered to come pick me up, I'm like, yes, absolutely. Plus, it's always nice to hang out with him. So he came to the hospital and we hung out and we decided to have lunch because it's easier for me because I don't really have anything prepared right now. I'm kind of not running out of food, just running out of ingredients necessary to make recipes, as opposed to just like simple stuff. So I'm like, cool, let's just eat at the hospital. So go to Cafeteria, and there's a bunch of different options. I went with the the platter option, which is basically usually like some sort of meat with mashed potatoes and rice, vegetables, stuff like that, except without the meat, obviously. Sorry, let me just grab some water. I already threw up in public. I don't need to throw up on a video now, although that would be a new milestone too. Hopefully it won't happen though. Anyway, so grab our food, go back to the cafeteria, find a table, sit down, start eating. And I get about 3/4 of the way through my food, and that oh so familiar sensation comes up of, ah crap, I might throw up. And unfortunately, by the time I get to that point, it's usually, you know, it's not too late, but it's like there's a limited amount of time. So I'm like, there's no way I can make it to the bathroom. Last thing I want to do is like run there and puke like on the way there and just like leave it everywhere. That would be gross for everyone. So I'm like, all right, plate it is. So luckily, there was also a platter underneath the plate because let's just say the plate was not enough. So, start getting that feeling of I'm going to throw up. I don't know exactly when it's coming, but, my mouth is filling with saliva like it's coming soon. So I kind of like lean over my plate, start like, spitting out the saliva, and my friend's just like, well, he doesn't say anything, but he just like gets up and walks away, which I get. It's never enjoyable to watch other people puke. I just didn't expect he would be that sensitive, but I get it. Um, Sorry, just thinking of it is making me burp. Uh, so anyway, my friend leaves, walks around, while I'm doing what I got to do. And the thing is, like, it's cafeteria at lunchtime, people all around me. I try to do my best not to puke too loud, not to disturb other people that are eating because it's gross for them. But at the end of the day, it's like, the amount of control I have is very limited. So throw up on my plate, eventually it's too full, overflows into the platter. Luckily, the platter was enough to contain everything, but it was definitely a strange experience to throw up in public. Like in the moment, I didn't like give a fuck whatsoever because I'm throwing up and that's all I'm focused on. Like I don't see anything around me, I don't hear anything, I'm not aware of anyone. I'm just like focused on that. But after it's like once I'm done, luckily that's the thing. It's like my friend left and it's like, okay, cool. So now I'm done throwing up. There's a platter and a plate full of puke in front of me. And the disadvantage of having a beard is when you throw up, it goes in your beard. So I have a beard full of puke and nothing to wipe it with because the one napkin I had from my food was in the platter and pretty much is now soaked in puke. And my friend is like at the other end of the cafeteria trying not to look at me just because I don't know what he like. I get that throwing up is gross. You don't want to watch someone do it. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. So, anyway, so I'm done and I'm just like, okay, my friend's over there. I don't want to like yell at him to grab like his attention because then I'm going to grab everyone else's attention and everyone's going to look at me like, hey, look at that guy covered in puke. Not that I really mind. It's just like, also out of respect for him, maybe not do that. Luckily, two people nearby saw what happened. And one of them had a box of Kleenex, so came over, offered me a couple of Kleenex. Another one offered to, well, first of all, asked like, hey, are you okay? There's a bathroom over there if you need it. I can show you where it is. And I'm like, no, it's fine. Like I just, I didn't have time to make it, so did what I had to do, but I'm okay now. And she's like, hey, can I go grab some napkins for you? So she went to grab a stack of napkins. So I was able to clean myself up, which was nice. And once it was pretty much over, like my friend came back, but it's like I could tell he was uncomfortable. Like, he wouldn't like look at the puke. Obviously, like no one really wants to look at puke, but yeah, it's funny. I wasn't expecting him to like react that way. So I don't know if it was more like out of he was grossed out or maybe embarrassment because it was in public. I don't know. He just not really is the type of person to care about shit like that normally. So I was just surprised. But yeah, to me it was funny. Definitely not pleasant throwing up. And in public, like most people would be like, "Oh my god, that's so embarrassing." It's like I've thrown up so much at this point that it really doesn't matter. Like I don't care. Most people probably didn't even notice. Those who noticed may have been a little grossed out. I'm sorry. It's not exactly something that's within my control. But yeah, definitely a new experience. So now I can say I threw up in public. Yep, I do not wish that on anyone. At least I had a plate and a platter. It's like better than just like, well, I'm throwing up all over the floor? So definitely could have been worse. But yeah, interesting experience. So I feel like this video has been kind of bad news, like, oh, I lost weight and then I threw up. But there is good news, unrelated to this, but let me share it now. After, I don't know, weeks, maybe a month at this point, it's been so long and so complicated of a process, but everything has finally been resolved with GoFundMe. My friend was able to transfer the account over to me, and now I can handle everything so she doesn't have to deal with, any trolls if they decide to attack again. And, she doesn't have to deal with that, which I completely understand. I just was not expecting the transfer process to be that complicated or take that long. But finally, everything is resolved. So the campaign is live, people can donate again, and I can receive payments. So until the next problem arises, I no longer need to think about that, which is a nice relief, a nice change of pace. So if anyone wants to donate, now you can. A link to the GoFundMe is always in the channel description and in the video description. Also, if you know anyone who's, you know, in the industry or whatever, or could help me get my message out to more people, share my story with more people, inspire more people, please let me know. And now that I'm able to read the comments again, you can do so in the comments. That's probably the simplest way. If not, you can contact me via my author website, send me an email through there. Really up to you. And finally, just wanted to, well, first of all, say I hope you've never thrown up in public, and I hope you never will. But at least now I can say I did. So check that one off the list. Not that there's an actual throw up list, although that would be funny. A throw up list, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of this community. I love you all very much, and I'll see you in the next video.